Hello, my name is Kendall McLeod and I am a member at Kensington, Troy, and I am also a personal trainer and registered dietitian at F45 Training, Rochester Hills. So coming to you today just to talk about a little bit about cross training and about nutrition. So first we'll talk about cross training. My husband and I both ran in the half marathon last year through Hope Water. It was an amazing experience and we did use the training program provided to us. And we did do the cross training days, as those are just as important as the running days to keep your muscles strong and to give your body a rest from all that running. So what I thought we could do today is just talk a little bit about what you can do for cross training and then talk about some common form errors. Everything I'm going to show you today, we are going to use some weights. So if you don't have weights, if you go to the gym, if you can just do body weight, anything, this is just to strengthen your body, but we're going to do demonstrations with some weights. So first up, we are going to talk about lunges. So for a lunge, you're going to do a forward lunge. Morgan is going to do all of our demonstrations for us. So as he steps forward in that lunge position, he's going to go to 90-degree angle in both of his legs, and he's going to push through his heel and midfoot, engaging his core the entire time, so that way he's not arching his back and he's not hurting himself in his knees. You can see that his knees don't go over his toes. So it's really important here, and then you squeeze on the way up. So it's really important here to make sure that you're protecting your knees and that you're keeping those legs nice and strong. You can always add weight to that if you wanted to hold weights on your sides. All right, so next up we are going to do a squat. So for a squat, you're gonna start in a stance where your feet are about shoulder width apart, if not a little bit wider, nice strong core. When I say strong core, I want you to almost like squeeze your core like you're gonna be punched in the stomach. That helps keep your back stable too. So you are going to sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Come down as low as you can without having those knees go over those toes. And then as you come up, you're gonna press through those heels and those glutes and squeeze at the top. This is gonna strengthen your quads and your glutes, those big running muscles. So if you're finding your knees are going over your toes, you can decrease your range of motion and just go a little bit lower. Perfect. And then if you wanted to make this harder, you could pause at the bottom, you could hold some weights. So those are a couple of options there. Our next exercise is going to be a deadlift. So this is gonna strengthen your hamstrings here, which are the big muscles on the back of your legs. And so we are gonna use a barbell here. If you don't have weight, that's okay. You can just practice this motion with just your body weight. So what you're gonna do is your feet are gonna be about shoulder width apart again here. You're gonna bend down, grab that weight. You're gonna always lift with your legs, not with your back. On up. And then as you come down, you're gonna track this barbell right along your shins, come to about mid-shin, and then pop up. Your booty should come all the way back. Nice, and do you feel it in your hamstrings? Yes, awesome. So as he's coming down, you can see his back is nice and straight, and he's not having any arch in there, and he's squeezing at the top as he comes up. Great job. So those are a couple of leg exercises that you could do. If you ever have questions about doing any more kinds of leg exercises, my information will be provided to you. I'm happy to help. Next up, we are going to talk about our biceps. So some strength exercises you can do for your biceps. We're just gonna talk hammer curls. And so for a hammer curl, you're gonna have your hands in a neutral grip. I don't know why I switched sides. And you can do one arm at a time, bringing those out, keeping those elbows nice and close to your sides. Flare your elbows for me. So you don't want to flare your elbows out. That means your weight is too heavy. So you want to have those elbows nice and close to your sides and bringing that up one at a time. And it's important to go slow on the way up and the way down. You should feel contraction the whole time. Great job. Perfect. Next, we're going to do a wide grip curl. So here your arms are going to come out, flare out, yep, and then you're gonna curl up, wide, and again, you're not wanting that elbow to come out at all, so if you can't keep your arms nice and straight, that means your weight is too heavy. So this is gonna be great to help with your upper body. All right, perfect. Next up, we are going to do some tricep workouts. So for here, we are first gonna start with, do you want to do the dips? We'll do some tricep dips. So here you can have a bench, you can use a chair, anything you have that levels you off the ground a little bit here. So we do have a bench, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna put both your hands, you're gonna have your wrists on there, and you're gonna lower yourself down slowly, making sure those elbows stay as far back as you can behind you. And then as you come down, you should feel contraction, and then press up and squeeze at the top. And this is gonna work this muscle back here, your tricep. Great job. All right, and then the other exercise we were gonna do is a tricep kickback. So for here, you can do this in a standing motion. You can have a nice staggered stance and keep your back, keep a nice level here. And as he kicks his arm back, it's just going straight back, not up. And he's squeezing, pausing for a second. And I can even feel his muscle contracting. So this is gonna be great for that muscle on the back of your arm. So it's important to have a strong upper body. So if you do have a bench, you can go one arm at a time. You're gonna put your opposite leg up on the bench, opposite leg from the arm that you're working. And then you're gonna, strong core, kick that arm back, squeeze, and then bring that arm back in. Perfect. So you wanna get a nice straight line, hold it for a second, and bring it back in. Great job. All right, next up, we are going to talk about our core. So for our core, we're gonna start with a Russian twist. So this is when, if you had a weight, you could use a weight. This is just a medicine ball. If you have any sort of weight, you can use that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna have either your heels on the floor or bring your feet up if you have that option. And what you'll do is you'll twist side to side, seeing if you can bring either your hands or that weight to touch the other opposite side of the floor. And then if that does hurt, then you can put your feet on the ground and decrease that range of motion. Great job. So next up, what we are going to do is bicycle kicks. So these are a great core. Having a strong core is very important in running, cycling, any cardiovascular activity that you're doing. So you're gonna put your hands behind your head, you're gonna bring those feet up, and you're gonna kick those legs out opposite knee to opposite elbow. You can use your hands behind your head, but it's really important not to pull on that neck. That's just almost there for a little bit of support. And then you are gonna try and reach those knees, opposite knee to opposite elbow, okay? And then next up, we are going to do a plank. So for a plank, you're gonna go on your forearms, and then you're gonna put those toes on the ground, and you're gonna try to have a nice flat back and a flat line here. Engage your core, squeezing as tight as possible. And so an option here, if you're finding, arch your back a little. If you're arching your back and you're finding your stomach sag a little down, that's gonna hurt your back. Or if your butt is going up in the air, an option would be to go on your knees. So this is gonna help. I'd rather see you using a decreased range of motion with proper form to not injure yourself, because you don't wanna injure yourself, especially when you're training for a big race. And the final exercise of form that we are going to talk about is a push-up. This is a great whole body exercise, and sometimes it can be done wrong. So for a push-up, your push-up starting position, you're going to have your toes on the ground and your hands. You want to make sure that your wrists are in line with those shoulders, and then you're going to have your hands about shoulder width apart, and you're going to slowly lower down, and your elbow should come to about 90 degrees, and then you're going to press up through your whole hands here. Press up, breathe, and then engage that core. If this is too much, what you're gonna do is go down to your knees and then push up from here. To make that harder, again, you could do a tricep push-up where you're bringing those, sorry, he's getting tired. Press all the way down and all the way back up. Yep, bringing those hands in nice and close, and those elbows are tracking the sides. Great job. So those are just some exercises that you can do for cross-training days. Great work. You can always come to F45 training in Rochester Hills. We do have free week trials where you could come try multiple styles of workouts where we do a ton of cross-training. here. You can try if you had like TRX at home, if you have any resistance bands, anything to really strengthen your muscles. And put some, if you could do extra weight on them, is going to help as well. And it's also very, very important to make sure that you stretch after all of these types of exercises to let your muscles recoup a little bit.